Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Not Allowed to Hang Up. First, some background. I'm an 18-year-old college student who got a temporary job as a cold caller for a proxy company. I know, I'm the worst type of person, but we all have our faults. This was this June and in the US, so I was very fortunate to get any job I could. I had been hired to work for a proxy company. Essentially, I would call people's homes and try to get them to vote on company policy for corporations they held stocks of. People hate it when you call. They will curse at you, threaten you, guilt you, and scream. Apparently, the group I was working for was pretty crappy because people would say we called multiple times a day. No matter what happened or what they might say to us, we were told explicitly we were not allowed to hang up under any circumstances on a client. This was generally pretty crappy. Many people would get personal with you and threaten you, or try to make you feel really guilty saying you had woken up their baby or something. However, once in a while we would get people who just wanted to mess with us. My favorite example of this was someone who pre-recorded an elaborate audio drama that took place in a casino. They initially started off friendly, telling me to hold on for a sec or talk about their job as a ship counter. And there was even dead space with some background sounds in it to make the caller think they were actually there. I caught on pretty quickly that this was a bot, but I was under no circumstances allowed to hang up on a client. The story continued with the casino worker getting in trouble with a scary sounding Russian man. And still I listened. Approximately 15 minutes in, the man faked getting beaten up by the mob, and after 20 minutes the call ended. I was paid hourly, $17 per hour, so I made about $6 listening to a well-made and entertaining audio drama. And all because I was told I was not allowed to hang up. They changed the rules after that to make a caveat for recordings and bots. The next story is called Strictly Follow the Rules. Early last year I started working for a small transport and warehouse company in the UK. As I had changed professions, I had to be trained up from the ground. But the managing director's son hit off from the moment we met at the interview and was determined to get me on the team. I was given an afternoon shift, which meant I got to learn the trade both the proper way from the day shift and the backdoor kind of way from the night shift. Now, it's important to point out that it is both our company policy and a contract with our clients that if we were to require any third-party trailers for loading, we had to contact them by email and await a reply. Night shift being night shift, you usually do not end up getting a reply until about 6 the next morning when the day shift starts. This meant that if we wanted to load anything on third-party trailers, we had to find our own way. Now, my personal way of life was always to help everyone out, as when you need something from them, they usually are happy to provide. There was one third-party hauler that loaded with us quite often, and the night shift manager often used to ring us to find out if we loaded anything that was to be picked up in the morning. We'll call them Fusion Transport. I ended up doing them quite a lot of favors over the months, whether it was loading stuff early or arranging for them to come at a specific time and get turned around within a few minutes. The only problem is that we have multiple clients in our warehouse, let's call them A and B. I've met and almost always helped Fusion in regards to our client B, but they often did work for our client A as well. The only problem was that the two clients have been contacting two different depots of Fusion Transport. And I was not allowed to leverage my contact there if I needed something for client A. This is where the fun starts. Just a few days before Christmas last year, on a Sunday, our client A has informed us that they had just agreed a load going to one of their biggest customers. The load was supposed to be delivered at 3 Monday morning and we had been informed at 11 on a Sunday evening. Mind you, on Sunday afternoons, all of the warehouse crew finishes at 18 o'clock and don't get back in until Monday at 6. So I was there alone, just manning the office. The conversation went something like this. So we've just sent you an order info for an urgent load that's got to be delivered in 5 hours. Well, I'm alone here at the moment. But if you are desperate for it, I can go out and assemble and load the trailer myself. I just need you to send a driver down with a trailer so that I can load it. Well, that's the problem. It is being taken by Fusion Transport, and they only agree to it if they can arrive at your place and pick up the trailer. Otherwise, they won't make it in time for delivery. Well, fair enough. But first of all, we have none of the trailers here. And even if we did, I can't move one onto a loading bay myself. Have you got one down at your place one of your drivers could bring so it is ready? Nope, we've got nothing. Yes, I know what you are going to say. Our planning department is a load of bollocks. About right. Is this desperate then? If we don't deliver in time, there will be quite a large fine. Right. Leave it with me. At this point, I thought screw it. If they are that desperate for it, I'm gonna venture slightly outside the policy and request help from my fella down at Fusion. So I called him up and explained where I stand. He went silent for a few minutes. Then he told me, you know what, you've done me quite a few favors recently, so it's about time I pay them back. I'm gonna send one of my drivers with a trailer you need and a couple of fellas to give you a hand doing so. How does that sound? You are having a laugh, aren't you? Nobody, I would say that puts us about equal. And he did exactly as he promised, and about half an hour later I had a driver with a trailer and 3 other guys to help me load it. It was ready just in time for the other depot of Fusion Transport to collect it. I rang up our client A and told them the order had been loaded and was on its way to the customer. He praised me for working miracles and we left it on that. Next day afternoon I came into work only to be greeted by the general manager and managing director. Both asked me how I pulled it off, as they had spoken with our client A and they knew we had no trailers to load it on and they couldn't provide any either. I explained to them what had happened and how I got it done. What kinda took me by surprise was that instead of at least a nod of approval, I had been bollocked for breaching company policy. Unhappy, I returned to my duties, but I kept it in the back of my mind for a future reference. Boy oh boy, did I have a grin on my face when in early January I received a nearly identical phone call on a late Sunday night. This time I was going to do it properly. I composed a quick email to confirm we had received an order and that we urgently required a Fusion Transport trailer to load it on. I made sure to copy in as many people in management as possible, including both the general manager and the managing director. About an hour after that, I get a call from my general manager, asking me how I am doing with this order. I calmly proceeded to explain to him that due to well-foreseen circumstances, I was unable to load anything as I did not get a trailer for it. He was furious and he hung up on me. About 10 minutes later, he and the managing director both walk into the office and proceed to question me on why the heck I cannot get one thing done. So I put on my special face reserved for moments like these. Well, as I had it pointed out to me last time, I am to strictly follow company policy in situations like these. I have requested a trailer and am awaiting a response from client A. But you know they cannot provide you with one. I'm well informed of this fact, sir. However, our policy states that we can only request trailers from them. Unless, of course. This is when I put my hands together and started rotating my thumbs around each other like a hunter waiting on his trap to trigger. The general manager was fuming at this point. The managing director just looked at him, then at me. Can you get a trailer sorted through one of your contacts? Possibly, but the general manager won't be happy about me breaching the policy again. Screw him, you've got my permission. If he has anything against it, I'll take it on personally. So I proceed and rang my contact. He was happy to provide me with a trailer, as he had a driver in my area who had just finished a job. I turned around and told them that we'll have the trailer on site shortly. But due to the time wasted, I would not have time to load in time for collection. The general manager just looked at me confused, but the managing director started to understand what I was hinting at. I wanted them to load the trailer with me. The best thing was that we use electric pallet riders, which you need to be qualified to ride, even though they are a piece of cake to use. This meant that my so-called helpers had to use the old-fashioned pump trucks to move the pallets around. And this is not fun when the pallet weighs just under a ton. I will never forget the struggled faces they pulled as they were pushing the pump truck around the warehouse, and I was just zipping around them on my electric pallet rider. To this day, I was never questioned again on how I do my work and what backdoors I use to get it done efficiently. I hope you enjoyed today's video so far. If you want more content, please subscribe to the channel. And if you like the video, don't forget to press the like button, it really helps. And now, on to the last story. The last story is called Don't Like How Discounts Work. So this happened when I was still employed at a popular video game retail chain. I worked there for about 8 years, and this occurred around the last year I was with that company when I was a store manager. Now, in my area we have about 5 of these stores. Because of this, it is not unusual for another store to send someone to you if you had a particular product in stock that a guest wanted. No worries, we'll take care of them. I got this kind of call that day and was sent a guest who wanted to pick up a pre-owned version of a newer video game that had just come out. As he came up, I already had the game pulled and was starting to take care of him. He had the paid membership that we offer and a $5 off coupon. Now this is where I have to throw some math out at you. At the time, the membership gave people a 10% discount on any used game they purchased. This game was $54.99 and proudly advertised the discounted price of $49.49 for members on the label. However, coupons worked in the system in a quirky way. Essentially, any coupons took off the standard price of the game in the system. In this case, it was $54.99, making it $49.99 with the coupon before the 10% discount took effect. I usually explained this to the guests before they used the coupon, because most of the time they expected to take off the discount price, i.e. $49.49 minus 5 equals $44.49. This also leads most people to believe that they are losing money by using a coupon. After explaining how it works, however, most people understood and were okay with it, or decided to just wait and save the coupons for later. Once again, no worries, glad I could help. After going through my usual spiel with this guest and explaining the coupon oddity, he said that's fine, and we finished up the transaction. As I hand him his receipt, he takes a look at it and promptly says, "Wait, this price is wrong." "What do you mean?" "It should have been cheaper. The coupon should have taken off the lower price." No. I already explained this as I attempt to tell him the spiel again. No, the coupon should take off the lower price that's advertised. At this point he was starting to become irate. This being my last year at this job, I was pretty done with most things. Cue my malicious compliance. What this person didn't realize is just how much he supposedly lost by not taking off the lower price. It was a 50-cent difference. I looked at him and said, "You know what? Okay then, I'll refund the difference for you, sir." I popped my register, grabbed 2 quarters and forcefully placed them on the counter. He sees the 2 quarters and I can physically see the gears turn in his head. "Here you go." "Oh man, I mean, that wasn't my point." "Okay, then what was your point?" "I thought you wanted your money back." "Nah man, it should just work the other way." "I already explained why it does that. It's not going to change, but I am happy to take care of you still." This led to him wanting to speak with our district manager. We didn't give out our DM's number to just anyone, they usually call you. I contacted my current DM at the time, explained the situation and left it in his hands. I told the guest my DM will call you, and he accepted this and left. I later came to find out that this wasn't the guest's first time complaining about this. He had already been told before how it works, and I guess still decided to cause more issues with me at a different store. My DM informed me that he didn't do anything more than explain what I had already explained to him, and I never heard about it again. Moral of the story: always pick your battles, especially when only 50 cents is on the line. Also, to answer the burning question, he didn't take the 50 cents. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Let me know what you think about the stories in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye bye.